He kissed my cheek at dinner. A text flashed. Inheritance meeting went great. The room turned cold. I held the door with my hip and 2 men stared past me at my couch. "Ma'am, we're here for pickup," the taller one said. "Pickup of what?" I said. "The gray couch, the TV, the bar cart," the other one read from his phone. Steam rose from my tea by the sink. My spoon tapped the cup. My hand did not stop shaking. "Who sent you?" I asked. "Your fiancé," the tall one said. "He does not live here," I said. A horn blared outside. A box truck idled in the lot. The men looked at each other. One took a small step back. "You can't take a thing," I said. "Not a coaster. Not a screw. I have receipts." A phone buzzed in the hall. A door opened fast. Mark stepped in like he still owned the air. "You're supposed to be at work," he said. "Schedule changed," I said. He used his calm face, the one he used with waiters he did not tip. He opened his arms for the room. "Let's be adults," he told the movers. "Half of this is mine. Show your name on the lease," I said. He did not move. "I'm calling the police," I said. I held the phone high and hit the number slow. "Hi. I need help. My ex is trying to take my things." The men raised both hands. They backed toward the hallway like the floor was a bad floor. Mark's jaw went tight. He looked at the couch. He looked at the door. His eyes darted. Then he turned and left. The movers slipped out after him, mumbling sorry as if the word could sweep up a mess. I shut the door with my foot. The tea had gone cold. Rain ticked the window. My hand lay flat on the table until it stopped its shake. That was the day the story hit the ground. But it did not start there. A week before, a little buzz on my phone lit the screen at lunch. From Mark, had a really good lunch with a lawyer. Learned a lot about how inheritance works after marriage. "We should discuss estate planning soon," smiley face. The smiley face sat there like gum on a shoe. My spoon clinked the bowl. The soup smell wrapped my face and did nothing. I typed one word. Smart. Then I wiped my hands on a napkin, stood up from the small table at my office kitchen, and walked outside. The sun pressed warm on my hair. I called my dad. "Hey Dad," I said. "Got a minute? For you?" "Always," he said. "Mark met with a lawyer," I said. "At lunch. About inheritance. After marriage." Silence. A bird chirped on the line. "I see," Dad said. "What can we do?" I asked. "You want it clean?" His voice went low now. Shop voice. Job voice. He had that voice when pipes burst. "Clean," I said. "Come by the office after work," he said. My dad ran pipes through walls for 35 years. He came home with copper smell in his shirt and small burns on his wrist. He built a shop with 5 trucks, a neat yard, and a line of people who did not haggle with him because the water always ran again when he left. My grandpa left some small brick buildings when he died. 2 stores, 4 small homes, and 1 sad blue place with a sweet big tree. The tree made it look rich. The numbers did not. But Dad kept the roof straight, and rent added up over years. With savings and steady hands, my parents grew a pile that looked big to some and very normal to them. Nothing flashy. No boats. No big trips. Just a full file cabinet and a quiet smile when a bill came and got paid that day. I had one little brother, Ben. He fixed old radios in the garage and made them sing. He liked that more than money. Mark knew my family was fine. I never hid it. I never waved it either. I had a job as a project manager for a small build firm. Good pay. Not by boat pay. We split our bills. We chose a simple wedding. He put songs in a playlist and danced around the kitchen with me. I laughed and put flour on his nose. It looked like a good life. That day after work, I went to Dad's office. The lobby smelled like coffee and metal. Carla, who had worked the phone since I was 10, handed me a cookie. Dad came out with a folder and a set face. "We're going to make you disappear," he said. He tapped the folder. "But only on paper. Only for now. Reversible." We sat with Mr. Leone, Dad's lawyer, in a small room with a plant that did not need water. Mr. Leone spoke slow. He stacked papers like bricks. "Your parents will update their will," he said. "For now, the assets go to Ben if anything happens. We filed today. It's airtight. It's also reversible at any time. Nothing about this is hostile. It is prudent." He slid the pen. The pen felt heavy and smooth. My hand did not shake that time. Mr. Leone nodded once. "Good," he said. 2 days later, Mark's lawyer called him back. I did not hear that call, but I heard the door to our bedroom close. I heard one word through the wood. "Nothing," Mark said. The word hit the door like a small fist. The bedroom door stayed shut a long time. He came out pale and itchy in his own skin. He smiled at me. It was a new smile with too many teeth. "All good?" I asked. "Work stuff," he said. He burned the eggs that night. He never burned eggs. On Friday, he played casual. He swung his keys on one finger and leaned on the counter. "We should do a prenup," he said. "You know, to protect each other." "Sure," I said. "What brought this on?" "Just being smart," he said. "We'll each get a lawyer," I said. "We'll make it fair." "Each," he said. The word caught on his tongue. "That's how it works," I said. "Independent. Clean." He nodded. His eyes slid left and right like flies. That weekend, small hints started falling like pennies that made one big sound when they hit the jar. "Your dad's business," he said while brushing his teeth. Foam on his lips. "Is there a plan for, someday?" I spit. Rinsed. "Dad has it handled," I said. Ben is kind of dreamy, he said at dinner. His fork clacked the plate. I hope your parents have safeguards. I sipped water. Ben pays bills on time, I said. He fixes things people forget how to fix. At the farmer's market, he stood by the tomato stall and said, "It's odd your dad never brought you into the business." Like, officially. I like my job, I said. I picked a tomato and pressed it like a soft drum. He put the tomato back too hard. By Sunday, Diane, his mom, said a casual dinner. Casual had linen napkins and his brother Jason in a shirt with tiny boats on it and a smug grin that moved before his mouth did. We sat. Bread hit the table. Butter shone. Diane folded her hands and met my eyes. "We thought we'd discuss the wedding budget," she said. "Mark and I said it," I said. "We booked the venue. 15,000. Simple. Now that we understand your family's situation," she said. "What situation?" I said. Mark kicked her under the table. She jumped. Jason smirked. His dad cleared his throat. "It's standard for the groom's side to help," Diane said. "Given the scale." "We're not doing standard," I said. "We're doing us. Mark and I pay for our wedding." Jason snorted. "Must be nice to hoard all that inheritance while my brother." "I'm not inheriting anything," I said. The room stopped. A fork paused midair. Mark's head snapped toward me. "What?" he said. "I was removed from my parents' will this week," I said. "Seems smart." "For now." Diane's eyes widened until the whites were eggs. "You can't be serious." "Very serious," I said. "It's their money." Jason leaned forward. "This is temporary," he told the air. "You're protecting it." "That's what this is." "Protecting it from what?" I said. Mark pushed back his chair. "We're leaving." We left. The tires chirped on the way out. He gripped the wheel like he could squeeze the horn out of it. He said nothing until we walked into my living room. Then he turned, closed the door soft, and let his voice go hard. "How could you do that without telling me?" he said. "Like your lunch with a lawyer?" I said. His mouth opened. Closed. Opened. "That was different," he said. "I was getting information. Information about money that is not yours," I said. "Money that may never be mine." He paced. He rubbed his face. He reached for me and stopped. "I want a safe," he said. His hands fluttered in the air. "We are safe," I said. "We work. We save. We sign fair papers. That's safety." He looked at the floor and nodded at me. He grabbed a jacket. "I'm staying at Jason's," he said. He left. The door clicked. The apartment hummed. The fridge ran. The clock made small noises. I stood very still. He came back with roses. He cooked my favorite. He kissed my head when I stirred the pot. "I'm sorry," he said. I panicked. Amy's husband left her with nothing. I got scared. He squeezed my shoulders when he said scared. The word made him smaller. He told me I was his home. He said life was a bump. He set his phone face down on the counter when it buzzed. 3 days of sweet. He cleaned the sink until it shined. He booked a tasting for cake. He filled the house with soft music. On Wednesday, he slid beside me on the couch with 2 mugs of tea. "You're right," he said. "Prenup is smart. Let's both get lawyers. Let's do it right. But you should get back in your parents' will. It's not fair to your brother to handle everything alone someday. Dad decides, not me," I said. "You could talk to him," he said. He kept his voice light, like he was asking for a blanket. I sipped tea and watched steam twist. He watched my face. By Thursday, his mom texted me long lines about trust. About marriage. About sharing everything. "How could you not trust my son?" she wrote. I put the phone face down and watered my plant instead. The plant did not ask for money. Friday night, Mark showered. His laptop lay open like a mouth. A message bubbled up on the screen. "Jason, did you try the emotional angle? Dad says if that doesn't work, maybe push the date back until the inheritance is sorted." My thumb shook. I took a photo. Water hummed in the pipes. I packed a small bag and set it by the door. He came out with wet hair. He wiped his face with a towel. He saw the bag. He froze. "Where are you going?" he said. "My parents' house," I said. "I need space." "For what?" he said. "For air," I said. "For a week without plans that smell like cash." He followed me to the door. "You're overreacting. You brought lawyers into my life before you brought flowers to my mother," I said. "You asked for access, not love." He blocked the door with his body. I lifted the phone. He moved. I left. He called me 23 times that weekend. His mom called 8. Jason texted once, "You're making a mistake." I did not answer any of them. I sat at my parents' table and ate my mom's lasagna while rain filled the gutters. Dad told a bad joke. Ben fixed a lamp and made it glow. We watched a silly movie and laughed when we should not have laughed. Monday morning, I drove back to the apartment with a tote and some calm. I started to sort. Not packing. Just counting. What's mine, what's his, what's ours? I opened the desk for the lease to see about the penalty if we cut it. There was a folder. I did not look for it. It looked for me. 3 printed emails lay there, neat and white. From Jason to a lawyer, 3 weeks before the lunch. "I want to understand marriage property laws. My fiancé has significant family assets. We need to plan." From the lawyer, "Happy to help. We can cover spousal rights to inherited assets, commingling, and strategy." From Jason again, "Great. Also what happens with no prenup versus a standard prenup." 3 weeks. He had set the board before the ring had time to shine. I took photos of every page. I laid them in a folder on my phone called Rain. At 6, Mark walked in with takeout bags and a smile. He saw the lease on the table and the folder of emails beside it. His smile slipped. "What's that?" he said. "Lease," I said. "Penalties. Dates." He put the bags down as if they were heavy now. "Don't do this," he said. I slid the printed emails toward him. He did not pick them up. His face flushed in spots. 3 weeks, I said. "It was research," he said. "Everyone does research." "You asked about ways around separate property," I said. He pressed fingers to his eyes. He sat. He spoke into his palms. The words were wet and soft. "My mom never had stability," he said. "My dad's shop never worked. We moved and moved. When I met you, you had this light. Then I learned your family was safe. It felt like land after water. You fell in love with safe," I said. "I fell in love with you," he said. "The safety helped me sleep. You tried to build a plan to reach into a thing that is not yours," I said. He grabbed my hands. His palms were damp. He squeezed hard. "You can fix it," he said. "Call your dad. Get back in the will." There it was. The shiny word. Fix. Like I was a tool. "Pack a bag," I said. "You can stay with Jason or your mom. You have a week to find a place." "This is my apartment too," he said. "Your name is not on the lease," I said. I tapped the paper. "You moved in on a month-to-month idea. My idea ends now." "You've changed," he said. "You're cold." "I'm clear," I said. He threw shirts in a bag and slammed drawers. He yelled about love. About memory. About the blender we chose together. He stood in the door and pointed at my chest. "You'll be alone at 40, he said. "You'll cry and wish for me." "I'd rather be alone than be somebody's retirement plan," I said. He slammed the door so hard the plant shook. A leaf dropped like a small green tear. I picked it up and set it on the sill to dry. The next morning, the venue called. "We got a request to cancel from Mark," the woman said. "He asked for the deposit in his name." "I paid the deposit," I said. "Yes," she said. "We checked." "What would you like to do?" "Hold the date for now," I said. I chewed a pen cap. "I'll let you know by Friday." "Understood," she said. She sounded kind. The kind was a soft square under my feet. Thursday at noon, Mark's dad showed up at my job. He smelled like cologne and hard candy. He set both hands on my desk. "Man to," he started, then caught himself. "Adult to adult," he said. "You are ruining my son over a misunderstanding." He met with a lawyer to look at my family's money, I said. Weeks before the meeting he told me about. "He's a planner," he said. "You've traumatized him for being careful." "If he was careful, he would have asked me first," I said. "He asked a stranger first." "You fix this," he said. He leaned in tight. "You call your father. You get back in the will. You marry my son. Or we tell everyone who you are." "Please do," I said. "Tell them he asked a lawyer how to reach my family's assets. Tell them his mother tried to take our deposit. Tell them his brother sent him a script for my tears." He pulled back. His jaw moved slow. He left 2 fingerprints on my desk that I wiped with a tissue. Friday morning, an email arrived with "formal demand" in the subject line. Mark wanted half the deposits I had paid in full. He wanted 3 months of living costs because I kicked him out. He wanted the ring back and money for emotional harm. I sent it to my cousin Priya, who was a lawyer and also a person who laughed from the belly. She called me. I held the phone away while she howled. "Save everything," she said after the laugh. "Say nothing." Saturday, Mark posted a long story online. He used soft words like future and hard words like abuse. He wrote about how I hid money from him and threw him out. His friends posted hearts. His aunt called me names. I said nothing. Ben said something. He posted the screenshot of Jason's message. He posted the lawyer emails. He wrote 5 words. "When a plan meets a wall." The comments burned for 2 days. Some hearts turned into quiet dots. Some posts disappeared like socks in a dryer. Sunday his mother called, crying so hard I could hear the chokes. "You ruined her reputation," she said. "She printed emails," I said. "Take it down," she said. "It's not my post," I said. "Ben is 24. He does radios and choices." "We will sue," she said. "Truth is a shield," I said. "You taught me that when Mark was in 6th grade and you told the teacher he did not cheat on the math test. Remember?" "Same rule." She hung up. The line clicked like a small door. Monday was the day with the movers and the couch and the call to the police. After they left, the room felt 10 feet wider. My shoulders dropped half an inch. I made a fresh tea and let it be hot. The police came, took a statement, asked if I wanted a protective order. I told them I was okay for now. They gave me a card and said to call if he came back. I sat on the floor and leaned my head on the couch that had almost had a new life. The tea steamed. Outside, the truck pulled away. The day stretched like clean linen on a line. 2 months rolled by. The wedding date came and went with no white dress. My friend Tessa's boyfriend, Trevor, bought the venue date at a discount and proposed on the stage with a silly dance. I stood in the back and cheered and cried into a paper napkin. The chicken marsala tasted like lemon and butter and stood on its own. Mark got engaged again. He posted a photo of a woman in a bright dress and said she was his queen. He also said I was a liar to anyone who would listen. His new fiancée's smile was wide and hopeful. She looked like she loved hard. I wished her strong friends. His family sent messages sometimes. "You'll be sorry," one said. "You owe us," another said. I saved them all in the rain folder. My cousin Priya said we could file for harassment if they kept coming. Not yet, I said. Maybe they run out of steam. The messages slowed. They did not stop. Jason pitched a new business in a long post online, NFTs for pet photos. He used words like disruption and community. A week later, he asked his followers for small loans. The comments were a field of crickets. Dad added me back to the will eventually, but with new rules. Mr. Leone wrote them into neat lines. Everything would sit in a trust if it ever came to me. A spouse could not touch it for 5 years. If the spouse was kind and honest, time would take care of trust. If not, time would show it. Dad winked at me when he signed. Smart man, I said. He patted my shoulder. Smart women make me look smart, he said. Mom rolled her eyes and put pie on our plates. I went to therapy on Tuesdays at 4. The couch was beige. The room had a plant that did need water. I told the woman with warm eyes about doors and lawyers and words that felt like hooks. She handed me tissues I did not use. I spoke in small pieces. We made a stack out of them. The stack did not fall. One Saturday, I met a nurse named Grace at a friend's game night. She beat everyone at a silly card game by never lying and just laughing. She had quick hands. She split the check at the diner because it's 2025, not 1950, she said and grinned. We walked to our cars in a cool wind. She tucked a curl behind her ear. The streetlight made a small circle around us. We did not talk about wills. We talked about the best French fry shape, crinkle, then curly, then shoestring if they're hot. She told me about kids who held stuffed animals, so tight the seams strained. I told her about old pipes that sang when the water ran. We met for coffee again. And again. The ring went to a jeweler. The cash turned into a home theater with a screen so clear I counted freckles on the faces of people I would never meet. The first night, I sat on the carpet with popcorn and watched a big spaceship cross a bigger sky. The couch hummed under me. My plant leaned toward the light. I laughed out loud at nothing. It felt like breathing on purpose. I cleaned the apartment like a ritual. I sorted drawers. I put my passport in a pretty box. I taped the rain folder to the inside of a cabinet where I did not have to see it but could find it when needed. I bought new towels. I took down a photo of 2 hands and put up a photo of a river instead. The river looked like forward. Sometimes, memory poked me on the shoulder. A song from the old playlist came on at the grocery store. Mark's smell floated through a hallway somewhere, pulled by a stranger. A truck idled and my stomach went tight for a second. Then the light changed or the song ended, and the world moved. I had coffee with my brother at the flea market where he bought radios that did not work and made them hum. He held up a gold one with a dial like an eye. Listen, he said. He turned the knob and a song from 40 years ago filled the stall. People walking by smiled and turned their heads like flowers. Old stuff still sings, he said. Some of it, I said. We packed it in the trunk. He knocked my shoulder with his. The sun threw light at our feet. Our shadows walked next to us like quiet friends. A woman messaged me on a Tuesday night. She said she had matched with Mark on an app. She had found my name through a mutual. She asked if I wanted to know. She sent a screenshot without comment. Mark had sent her a long message about security and safety and futures. He had a pattern. Patterns repeat. I typed, thanks for the heads up. She typed back a heart. We did not say more. Grace texted me a photo of a dog in a cone. He got fixed today. He is milking it, she wrote. The dog looked regal and miserable. I laughed into my pillow. We planned a picnic for Sunday. She would bring grapes. I would bring pie. Saturday morning, my dad swung by with a wrench and a bag of bagels. He fixed nothing because nothing needed fixing, so he fixed the squeak in my paper towel holder just to be useful. He ate half a bagel and left the rest on the counter. At the door, he said, I worry I did too much. You did enough, I said. He nodded. He rubbed at a spot on his cheek like there was dirt that wasn't there. Best money I never had to spend on your divorce, he said and grinned like a boy. I left from a good place. You're not wrong, I said. He left. I wrapped the bagels. I looked around my small, clean space. I could see the whole living room from the kitchen and the whole kitchen from the door. It fit. Sunday, Grace and I sat on a blanket at the park under a tree that did not know about money. Kids threw a ball. A bike bell rang. A cloud moved slow like a ship. Grace set a grape on my tongue and smiled. A bee hovered over the pie and then chose a flower instead. We lay back. The leaves moved and made light dance. The day felt like a page that did not need words. When the sun slid low, we packed up and walked to the car. On the path, a girl dropped a shoe. I picked it up and jogged a few steps to hand it back. Her mom waved thanks. The girl waved too, proud and small. At home, I opened the balcony door. The night air touched my face. Somewhere down the block, a truck idled and pulled away. I stood and listened to it get small. Then I turned off the lights one by one. The screen glowed blue, then dark. The plant made a soft leaf sound against the glass. I lay down. The room settled. A car hissed by on wet asphalt, and the sound slid under the window like a ribbon. The last thing I saw was the faint square of the window on the wall, pale and quiet, like a promise held in a simple hand.